Hi, Clement. I just wanted to comment on that issue of Mcebisi Jonas. I mean, at the time when he was appointed, a lot of us pointed out the fact that this was not a well thought out move, particularly because Mcebisi Jonas is the chairperson of MTN. MTN does business with Iran and Iran Cell. There's no way that Donald Trump would have accepted somebody like that to come and chat to him. And what experience really does Mcebisi Jonas have in navigating Washington? So all those things need to come into it. I really, really think we need to call it out for what it is. The president just took one of his allies there. He used to also be, with MTN through Shanduka once upon a time, and for me, I really think that this was not well thought out, and he wasn't going to get anywhere.
Good morning, Clement Manyathela and 702 listeners. Regarding Mcebisi Jonas, I think the writing was on the wall that it would be a non-starter. Those comments that were made would have came back to haunt him, and Trump and his guys, right-hand men, the Rubio and JD and all those Witkoff, either one of them would have taken offense to the comments, and therefore it wouldn't have been started. Thank you.
Clemmy Moreman, Flores here from the Western Cape. Clemmy, I'm not sure why the presidency is so secretive about this whole ambassador and envoy. And I think what really is going to stand in Jonas's way was the remarks that he made about Trump a couple of months or years ago. So, yeah, they should come out clear to us, man. We as South Africans need to know. We cannot do our work if we don't have a representative in the US. Have a good so, bye-bye.
Yeah, and my thing is, I don't think we're getting full transparency here from the presidency about Mcebisi Jonas's work. If the president is so satisfied with his work, can they share with us what work has been done so far? And by the way, let's not confuse the questions we're asking about Mcebisi Jonas with his capacity. Because I have no issues with Mcebisi Jonas. I think he's very much capable of doing this task, right? I do. But I also think that we cannot, we can't have a government that just wants to keep on insisting on, for instance, oh, this is the person who's doing great work, when the person is being frustrated in the United States. So maybe if government shares with us what Mcebisi Jonas has managed to do without compromising the negotiations, that at least helps us, put us at bay and we realize, okay, then work is doing. He is meeting with people there. But it doesn't help that we're not seeing any work. Hence the questions we are consistently asking, where is he? What has he done so far? The information we're receiving is that they are not officially receiving him there. The information is he's getting the cold shoulder just like Ibrahim Rasool did. When is government going to realize that? Because time is running out. 30%. We've been slapped with a 30% tariff. The work of an envoy would be to start the negotiations or start setting the stage for South African government to start having conversations with the United States, the Trump administration officials. So if really the US doesn't want to work with Mcebisi Jonas, then keeping him there, how is that going to assist us? Maybe our government just needs to be honest. I don't know when they're going to be honest and say, ooh, we're facing frustrations there. Let's rather look at somebody else. Or let's then appoint an ambassador and obviously pray and hope that Donald Trump and his officials there are going to be happy with whoever we appoint. Because credentials must still be sent. They must accept those. And I wonder if we would have what's the word to use without using the other word? We would have the gall to reject the credentials of America's preferred ambassador to South Africa. Would we? Trump would hold a briefing the next day and probably announce 80% tariffs because that's how it works there. In fact, not even a briefing. He would go post on social media. Oh, we're in trouble. I don't know what we do because even with an ambassador, what do we do? Do you get one of the golfers that Trump likes and say, go be an ambassador there? Because if you're going to get anyone from the ANC, even though they may be Afrikaans, they may be white, the Trump administration, I bet you they will find something wrong with that person.
scarier thought for me is that Mcebisi Jonas hasn't been to the US yet in the time that he's been appointed as special envoy. And the even scarier thought is that Ramaphosa hasn't sent a delegation to negotiate a deal with Trump. But we've got no news on this. We've got no clarification on this. As far as I know, Ramaphosa thinks the relationship has been reset since their visit in the US and the whole Oval Office incident, but I doubt it's been reset. And we've got no news on this. All we know is that, hey, we are facing higher tariffs. And I doubt that we had any team going to negotiate. Eugene Rustenburg.
I guess we just have to accept the current crisis, the US-South Africa relations that are just terrible, and we just have to accept that it's Trump's time to dance. So we just have to wait until the Dems are back, if they're going to come back, or if the Republicans, they feel someone who understands diplomatic relations, especially international relationship. So let's hope that, because I don't even think those 49 Afrikaners that went to US can even appease Trump, because it seems like he has just forgotten about them. I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the media complaining about the treatment in US. It would be interesting for that one. But as you can see, the Trump relationship with other international people globally is just terrible. So we just have to wait for the next 3.5 years until the Democrats are back or the Republicans feel someone who understands diplomacy. Sfiso.
Yeah, Sfiso. In fact, there were reports of some of the refugees, African refugees, complaining. Apparently, some of them were placed in hotels. I do remember seeing a video done by a South African woman in the US who says they've received calls for some assistance. I don't know if any of you have seen that. But Sfiso is talking about complaints, and I think there have been some, and maybe not everybody is affected, all the refugees, but there have been some were placed in hotels and with no clarity of what's next. Some didn't even have food. I don't know if you've seen that video. If you've seen something else in as far as their settlement and them having been given proper plan as to what happens next, please let me know so we can clarify that. But that's the last video I saw. So yeah, what do we do? What do we do? Like right now, the fact that we still don't know what Mcebisi Jonas has been able to achieve. I mean, I would be shocked that he has not even been to America yet. I mean, that would be crazy. Yeah? Already it was wild, the fact that he was not there when President Cyril Ramaphosa had the most important meeting ever. And we were told, oh, he's stuck in meetings.